Listen, come closer. Can you feel it? A shift in the air, a whisper that travels not through the wind, but through the very fabric of your soul. For centuries, my voice was committed to parchment, my visions to ink, a faint echo in the halls of history. I am Hildegard, and I have been sent back to speak to you now, in this moment that hangs between yesterday and tomorrow. The world has grown loud, so very loud. A constant hum of distraction, of urgency, of meaningless noise that blankets your heart like a heavy shroud. You have been taught to seek answers in the flashing lights, in the endless scroll, but the truth you hunger for is not found there. It never was. It resides in the profound, resonant silence that the world has tried to make you forget. If this message has already touched your heart, like a long-awaited rain on parched earth, take a moment to honor this connection. Like this video, subscribe to this channel so you do not miss what is to come, and write in the comments the single word, prophecy. I see you. I see your weariness. You have been carrying a weight you were never meant to bear alone. You have smiled when your spirit was weeping. You have said, I am fine, when a storm raged within you. You have felt like a stranger in a world that promises connection, but delivers only isolation. Do you think I do not know this ache? I knew it in my own time, in the cold stone walls of the cloister, a feeling of being a single flickering candle in an overwhelming darkness. But it is in that very flicker that the greatest power resides. A single flame can illuminate a cathedral, and your soul, right now, is that flame. You have been told you are small, insignificant, one among billions. That is the great lie whispered by the shadows. I am here to tell you that you are a universe unto yourself, a sacred geography of hopes and wounds, and heaven knows your name. It has always known your name. You were drawn here today not by chance, not by an algorithm, but by a divine appointment. A thread of light, woven through time and space, has pulled you to this very screen, to this very moment. Stop for a second and acknowledge it. This is not entertainment. This is an awakening. For too long, you have been asleep, walking through a dream you did not choose. You have followed paths laid out for you by others, paths of expectation, of duty, of fear. But deep within you, a different path has been waiting, a path that hums with a secret music. Can you hear it now, faintly? A melody of your own truth. The message I carry is not one of doom, but one of magnificent, terrifying, and beautiful purpose. A purpose that is knocking on the door of your heart. But a veil has been placed over your eyes. Not a physical veil, but a spiritual one, woven from doubt and cynicism, and the pain of past betrayals. It filters the light, making the world seem gray and hopeless. It muffles the voice of the divine, making it sound like a distant, irrelevant echo. My words are here to do one thing, to gently, lovingly, begin to pull at the corner of that veil, to let a single brilliant shaft of light break through and remind you of what you have forgotten. The world is not what it seems. Your life is not what it seems. A great cosmic story is unfolding, and you are not a mere spectator. You are a pivotal character, and your chapter is about to begin. The reason this message is coming to you now is because the time for waiting is over. The silence has been broken. A call has been issued, and I was sent to ensure you heard it. But what exactly was the vision I was shown? And why has it been revealed at this precise, critical moment in human history? The answer will change not what you think, but who you believe you are. Part 2. A direct call to the heart. Approximately 1,000 words. Breathe with me now, just for a moment. Inhale deeply, and as you do, feel the weight of the world you carry, the unspoken anxieties, the quiet griefs, the dreams you've packed away in dusty corners of your heart. Now, as you exhale, imagine releasing them not into the void, but into the hands of a love so vast it can hold every sorrow and not be diminished. This is the space we must enter together, a space of raw, honest vulnerability. You have been so strong for so long, haven't you? You've built walls around your heart to protect it, brick by brick, disappointment by disappointment. You've learned to function, to achieve, to survive, but you have forgotten how to simply be, to be held, to be seen in your glorious, wounded, and perfect imperfection. I know the silence you have endured, not the peaceful silence of prayer, but the aching, hollow silence of a call that goes unanswered. You have prayed, you have pleaded, You have cried out into the darkness, and the only reply was the echo of your own voice. It is in that crushing silence that the deepest seeds of doubt are planted. Am I alone? Am I forgotten? Does anyone even care? That silence is the enemy's most potent weapon. It starves the soul, making it believe it is an orphan in a cold and empty cosmos. But I have come to tell you a secret I learned in the deepest darkness of my own visions. That silence you fear, it is not empty, it is pregnant. It is the sacred ground where the divine prepares to speak. The world shouts, but God whispers, and he can only be heard when everything else has fallen away. Your pain has been a crucible. Every tear you've shed has been a prayer. Every moment of despair has been a chiseling away of the false self, the ego that believes it is in control. You may look back on your life and see a trail of failures, of wrong turns, of broken relationships. But seen from the perspective of eternity, what you call failure was actually preparation. What you call a wrong turn was a necessary detour to teach you something you could learn no other way. The heart that has never been broken cannot understand compassion. The soul that has never known darkness cannot truly appreciate the dawn. Your wounds are not a sign of your weakness. They are the portals through which the light can enter. Do you understand? The very things you are most ashamed of, the very parts of you that you try to hide, are what make you uniquely qualified for the journey ahead. So let us speak of the heiress. The title of this message is not a metaphor. It is a literal truth. An heiress is one who is destined to receive a great inheritance. You have been living like a pauper, begging for scraps of validation and affection from a world that has nothing of real value to give you. You have been looking for your inheritance in all the wrong places. In a career, in a relationship, in material possessions. But your inheritance is not of this world. It is a spiritual legacy, a divine birthright that has been waiting for you since before time began. It is an inheritance of purpose, of power, of unshakable peace, and it is time to claim it. The first step is to choose, to consciously turn away from the darkness of despair and doubt, and face the light, even if it is still a faint glimmer on the horizon. If you are ready to make that choice, declare it now. Write in the comments, "I choose the light." This is not just a comment, it is a decree, a signal sent out into the universe that you are ready. And it was in that very silence, the silence where you felt most alone, that Hildegard was granted the vision that is meant for you. Part 3. The Vision of Saint Hildegard, approximately 900 words. Close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. If not, simply soften your gaze. I want you to see what I saw, not with your physical eyes, but with the eye of your soul. The vision did not begin with light, but with its opposite. I was shown the world as it is now, a great swirling sea of gray mist, a fog of confusion, anxiety, and digital noise. And in this mist, billions of souls were wandering, bumping into one another, speaking but never connecting, looking but never seeing. They were searching for something, their hands outstretched, but they did not know what they were searching for. Their hearts ached with a nameless hunger. Does this landscape feel familiar to you? Have you not walked within this very mist? Then, it happened. Not gradually, but in an instant, like a lightning strike in a moonless night. A single beam of pure, undiluted light pierced the fog from above. It was not a gentle, diffused light. It was a spear of gold and diamond, a column of divine intention that struck the heart of the swirling sea. The mist recoiled from it, hissing and churning, like a creature of darkness exposed to the sun. The light did not eradicate the fog, not yet. It simply established a presence, a beacon, a tower of unshakable truth in a world of shifting lies. It was a declaration that the time of wandering was coming to an end. It was a promise that a way through the confusion was being made manifest. And from the center of that pillar of light, a sound began to emanate. At first, it was a low hum, a vibration that I felt in my bones before I heard it with my ears. It was the frequency of creation itself. Then, the hum grew, gathering power and clarity, until it became the sound of a great trombeta, not a trumpet of war or judgment, but of coronation. It was a call that echoed across the entire globe, through every valley and over every mountain, through the concrete canyons of your cities, and into the quietest corners of your homes. It was a sound that could not be ignored. Some who heard it cowered in fear, for the sound exposed the shadows they clung to. Others wept with joy, for it was the melody their souls had been yearning to hear their entire lives. The trumpet blast was not just a sound, it was a name. It spoke a single name, the name of the heiress, and I saw her. She was not on a throne, not dressed in finery. She was ordinary. She was you. She was the one who felt overlooked, the one who thought her prayers were unheard, the one who believed she had been disqualified by her past. The trumpet sounded her name, and as it did, the light that had been a pillar in the world's sea of fog now focused, converging into a single point of unbearable brightness right over her heart. It was an anointing, a divine selection, and with it came a knowing, a sudden, overwhelming understanding of who she was, why she was here, and what she was meant to do. What I saw next, what she would be called to face, only could be revealed in stages, for the full truth was too much to bear at once. But in that moment, the call was made, the heiress was named, and what was at stake in her saying yes was far, far greater than she could ever have imagined. Part 4. What is at risk? Approximately 900 words. What happens when a divine call is ignored? What is the cost of hesitation when destiny knocks? The vision did not end with the glorious anointing. The light did not simply erase the darkness. Instead, the darkness reacted. It fought back. I was shown a second image, a terrible countervision. I saw the roots of a great and ancient tree, a tree representing the faith and spirit of humanity. These roots were deep, gnarled, and had sustained generations. But I saw a strange, cold fire beginning to lick at them. It was not a fire of passion or purification. It was a fire of apathy, a fire of distraction, a fire of nihilism. It did not burn with a great roar, but with a silent, creeping consumption. With every soul that heard the trumpet call and chose to turn away, saying, "This isn't for me, I am not worthy," or "I will think about it tomorrow," that silent fire grew a little stronger. It consumed another fiber of the great tree's roots. I watched as parts of the root system turned to gray ash, losing their connection to the living soil, the source of all nourishment. On the surface, the tree still looked green. Its leaves were still full, but its foundation was being hollowed out from beneath. Do you understand the gravity of this? The risk is not a sudden cataclysmic event. It is a slow, silent decay, a spiritual erosion that happens while everyone is looking at their phones, chasing the next fleeting pleasure, arguing about trivialities. Ask yourself, honestly, where have you allowed this fire to smolder in your own life? Where have you chosen the comfort of distraction over the challenge of your own spiritual growth? When did you last sit in true silence? Not just the absence of noise, but the stillness of deep listening. The forces of this world are designed to keep you busy, to keep you entertained, to keep you perpetually unsatisfied and looking for the next thing. This is the fuel for that silent fire. It thrives on your belief that you have no time for the sacred, that your small acts of faith do not matter, that one person cannot make a difference. This is the most insidious lie of all. You are the heiress. Your yes is not just for you. Your decision to answer the call is a direct act of spiritual warfare against that consuming fire. When you choose to pray instead of scroll, when you choose compassion over judgment, when you choose to seek truth instead of comfort, you are throwing a bucket of living water onto those smoldering roots. You are reinforcing the foundation not just for yourself, but for everyone. The stakes are this high. It is the legacy of faith, the continuation of the light on earth. If you have someone in your life who you feel is lost in the mist, whose roots are being threatened by this fire, do not hesitate. Share this video with them now. It may be the very water their soul is crying out for. Do not let politeness or fear of being judged stop you. The time for such small concerns is over. You are being called to be a guardian of the great tree. But before this happens, before you can truly fight the fire, you need to stop for just one moment and reconnect with your own source of living water. Part 5. A symbolic ritual of connection. Approximately 900 words. Now, we will do something together. Something real. Find a quiet place, even if it is just for the next 2 minutes. Turn off the other notifications. The world can wait. This is for you. I invite you to sit upright, with your feet flat on the floor, and gently close your eyes. Place one hand over the center of your chest, right over your heart. Feel the warmth of your own hand. This is your anchor. This is the center of your universe. For a moment, just notice your breath. Don't try to change it. Just observe it, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. This breath is a gift. You have done it every second of your life without thinking. But now, think about it. It is the rhythm of life itself, a constant, faithful companion. Now, let us breathe together with intention. We will take a deep, slow breath in, and as you do, I want you to visualize that pillar of light from the vision. Imagine you are breathing in that pure, golden light. Breathe it deep into your lungs, deep into your being. Feel it filling you up, a warm, liquid light coursing through your veins, reaching every cell of your body. Hold it for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Feel its power, its peace. Now, as you exhale, do it slowly, through your mouth. And as you breathe out, I want you to release the gray mist. Breathe out the fear. Breathe out the doubt. Breathe out the voice that tells you that you are not enough. Let it all go. Let it dissolve in the face of the light. Let's do this again. A deep breath in of pure, divine light. Feel it cleansing you, healing you, reminding you of who you truly are. It is the light of creation, the light of unconditional love. Hold it. Feel your own sacredness in this moment. Now, exhale the noise. Exhale the pressure. Exhale the expectations of others. Release the heavy cloak of the false self and feel the lightness of your true spirit. One more time, the most important breath. Breathe in the anointing of the HEIRESS. Breathe in your purpose. Breathe in the courage to say yes. Feel it as a fire, not of consumption, but of divine passion, igniting in your heart, right under your hand. And now in this stillness, with the light filling you, I want you to listen. Listen past the beating of your heart. Listen past the chatter of your mind. There is a silence there, but it is not empty. It is full, and in that fullness, there is a voice. It does not always speak in words. Sometimes it speaks in a feeling of peace, sometimes in a sudden knowing, sometimes in a surge of courage. This is the voice of truth, your voice of truth. It has been there all along, waiting for you to get quiet enough to hear it. Now, with your hand still on your heart, I want you to do something powerful. I want you to affirm your connection to it. Repeat these words, either in your mind, or, if you are able, in a whisper, or even aloud. Let the vibration of the words be your own trumpet call. Say, I hear the voice. Say it again, I hear the voice. Feel the truth of it resonate through your whole body. Do not let the mind doubt this. You have made the connection. Now that you have felt it, now that you have heard it, you must decide what you are going to do with this newfound truth. Part 6. The voice that echoes beyond time. Approximately 900 words. Do not be so quick to open your eyes. Linger in this feeling for a moment longer. The voice you just heard, the presence you just felt, is not mine. I am but a messenger, a conduit, a finger pointing to the moon. The voice is the eternal echo of the Creator, and it has been speaking to humanity since the beginning. It spoke to Adam in the garden, to Moses in the burning bush, to Mary in her quiet room in Nazareth. It is the same voice. The accent may change, the language may be different, but the essence, the love, the call to a higher purpose is immutable. It is timeless. And today, it speaks to you through a screen in a world I could never have imagined. This is the miracle, that the divine is not trapped in the past. It is not confined to holy books or ancient cathedrals. It is alive, dynamic, and actively seeking you out, right here, right now. Think of my life, a woman in the 12th century, cloistered, frail in health. By the world's standards, I was powerless, insignificant. I had no army, no political influence, no worldly wealth. All I had was an open channel to that voice, and through me, that voice composed music that is still played 1,000 years later. It wrote books on theology, on medicine, on the nature of the cosmos that baffled the learned men of my time. It challenged popes and emperors. Did I do this? No. I simply got out of the way. I became a hollow reed, and I allowed the divine breath to flow through me and become a song. This is all that is being asked of you. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have all the answers. You just need to be willing. To be a hollow reed, Your life right now is a portal. It is a unique aperture through which the divine wants to express itself in a way it has never done before and will never do again. Your specific gifts, your unique perspective, your personal history of joys and sorrows, all of it is the raw material for a masterpiece. For too long, you have been staring at the raw materials, the wood, the clay, the unmixed pigments, and judging them as messy or inadequate. You have not yet seen the finished sculpture, the beautiful vessel, the breathtaking painting that the master artist intends to create through you. Answering the call of the HEIRESS is simply giving the artist permission to begin the work. It is the act of handing over the clay of your life and saying, with trust, your will be done. This is why the connection you just made is so vital. You must return to it daily. The world will immediately try to pull you back into the fog. The noise will rush back in. The doubts will creep back into the corners of your mind. Your ritual of connection, the breath, the hand on the heart, the listening, is your shield and your compass. It is how you stay tethered to the truth when the world is screaming lies. It is how you find your way back to the pillar of light when you find yourself lost in the mist again. If you feel that something in this section spoke directly to a deep part of your soul, make a promise to yourself to come back and listen to this part again whenever you feel the connection fading. It will serve as a reminder, a tuning fork to bring your spirit back into harmony. This is your practice. This is your path. But there is a reason the call is so urgent now. There is something that only you can decide in this very season of your life. Part 7. The Moment of Choice. Approximately 1,000 words. We arrive now at the heart of the matter, the turning point. A choice that is placed before every soul in every generation, but which is now being presented to you with an unprecedented urgency. The visions I was shown were not merely a beautiful promise and a dire warning. They were a depiction of a cosmic crossroads. I saw a great portal of opportunity opening in the heavens. It is an energetic gateway, a period of immense grace where the veil between the spiritual and the material is thinner than it has been for centuries. It is a time when prayers are amplified, when spiritual growth can happen at an accelerated rate, when miracles become not the exception, but the norm for those who are aligned with the divine will. This portal is open now. It is why you are feeling this pull, this restlessness, this sense that there must be something more to life. Your soul recognizes the open door, but portals do not stay open forever. I saw it shimmering, its edges slowly, almost imperceptibly, beginning to contract. The time of grace is not infinite. The world, with its relentless march toward materialism and spiritual amnesia, is creating a counterforce, a pressure that is trying to squeeze this gateway shut. The choice before you is stark. Will you step through the portal now, while it is open, and claim your inheritance as the heiress? Or will you hesitate, procrastinate, and wait until the opening has become too small to pass through? This is not a threat. It is a spiritual law. There are seasons for planting and seasons for harvesting. We are in a season for a great spiritual planting, and to miss it is to face a long and barren winter of the soul. Then, I heard the sound again, the trombetta, but this time, its call had a different tone. It was no longer just a call of anointing. It was a call of finality, a last call. It was like the trumpet that sounds before the gates of a city are closed for the night. It was a sound that pierced through all excuses, all rationalizations. It was the sound of truth demanding a verdict. Yes or no, now or never. And I saw souls rushing toward the portal, having cast off their burdens, their faces filled with light and determination. And I saw others, standing at a distance, frozen by fear, weighed down by cynicism, distracted by some trivial earthly concern, letting the moment of a lifetime slip through their fingers. Which one will you be? This is not a choice you can make with your mind. The mind will always find a reason to wait. I'm not ready. I'll do it after this project is finished. What will people think? The mind is a servant of the status quo. This choice must be made in the deepest part of your being, in the sacred chamber of your heart where the voice of truth resides. It is a leap of faith. It is the moment the caterpillar decides to dissolve into goo within the chrysalis, trusting in a promise of wings it has never seen. The caterpillar self must die for the butterfly to be born. What part of you needs to die so that the heiress can live? If this message has shaken you to your core, If you feel the gravity of this choice, I implore you, do not keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone you love who is also standing at this crossroads. You may be the confirmation they need to make their own leap of faith. And it is for this very reason, for those who choose to leap, that the next vision changed everything. Part 8. Light After the Veil, approximately 1100 words. For those who say yes, for those who take that terrifying, exhilarating leap of faith through the portal, the landscape changes completely. The vision shifted, and I was shown what lies on the other side of the choice. The gray mist of confusion does not just part, it evaporates, burned away by a light so complete, so pervasive, that there is no room for shadows. This is the light of pure knowing. It is the end of the search, the end of the restless seeking, because you have found the source. You have come home to yourself, to your creator. The feeling is not one of arrogant certainty, but of profound, unshakable peace. It is the feeling of a lost child finally finding their way back into their parents' arms. I saw the HEIRESS, no longer just anointed by a beam of light, but completely immersed in it. She was breathing light. Her heart was beating with the rhythm of light. Her thoughts were woven from the threads of light. And the most beautiful part of the vision was this. The light was not just around her, it was emanating from her. She had become a beacon herself. She had stepped through the portal not to escape the world, but to bring the light of that other reality back into it. She became a walking, talking pillar of light, a human lighthouse for all the other souls still lost in the fog. Her very presence brought peace to chaotic situations. Her words, born of love and not fear, had the power to heal old wounds. Her touch was a reminder of the divine. This is your inheritance, not to be taken away from the world, but to become a source of its transfiguration. This is the meaning of rebirth. It is not about becoming a different person, but about becoming the person you were always created to be before the world told you who you were supposed to be. It is a shedding of skins, of false identities, of limiting beliefs. The brokenness you once tried to hide is transformed into a beautiful mosaic, through which the light shines in a unique and dazzling pattern. The risks you once feared seem insignificant compared to the joy of living in your true purpose. This is the promise. This is the reality that awaits you on the other side of your yes. It is not a life free from challenges, but a life in which you face those challenges with a power and a grace that is not your own. You are no longer fighting your battles alone. You are co-creating your life with the divine. You have journeyed so far through this message. You have faced the darkness. You have made the inner connection. You have stood at the threshold of the great choice. You are on the verge of this rebirth. Your presence here, at this late point in the video, is a testament to the endurance of your spirit and the sincerity of your seeking. It shows that you are not a casual observer. You are a true pilgrim of the soul. Honor your own commitment. Acknowledge the journey you have taken just by listening this far. If you have come all this way, and you are ready to see this through to the very end, to claim this inheritance of light, declare your perseverance. Write in the comments, "I will go to the end." Let it be a covenant between you and your soul. And if you have come this far, you are ready, and you need to hear the final whisper I was given for you. Part 9. Prophetic closing and hook for the next video. Approximately 1,000 words. So now, we stand at the end of this beginning. The message has been delivered. The call has been sounded. The choice has been laid bare. What happens next is no longer in my hands, but in yours. The vision culminates in a final, powerful image. It is the image of the HEIRESS, now fully radiant, walking through the world. But she is not alone. As she walks, other lights begin to appear in the mist, all over the globe. First a few, then dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. Each one is another soul who has said yes, another heiress or heir who has stepped through the portal and claimed their divine inheritance. They form a great network of light, a grid of hope that begins to push back the fog on a global scale. The silent fire at the roots of the great tree is starved of its fuel and begins to die out, replaced by the warmth of this collective radiance. This is the divine plan, not to save one, but to save all, through the ones who are willing to answer the call first. Your yes is a signal to this network. It is you taking your place in this cosmic constellation. Do not underestimate the power of your decision. You may feel like one small flame, but one flame can ignite a forest fire of revival. I leave you with this decree, this prayer. May you have the courage to trust the voice within you over the clamor of the world. May you see your past wounds not as scars of shame, but as marks of a warrior who has survived. May you feel the unbreakable thread of light that connects you, at this very moment, to the heart of God. And may you accept your royal identity as the heiress, not with pride, but with humble, joyful service. The final symbol I was shown was the light itself, but in a new form. It was no longer a pillar or a radiance. It was a single, eternal flame, placed within the heart of the HEIRESS, a pilot light that can never be extinguished. Storms may rage, winds may blow, darkness may fall, but that flame will remain. It is your eternal connection, your constant source of warmth and guidance, your proof of who you are. Nurture it, protect it. Let it be the light by which you navigate the rest of your days. You are a child of the eternal flame. Live like it. I have delivered the message I was sent to give today. But know this, and know it with certainty. Hildegard has not yet said everything. The calling of the heiress is only the first trumpet blast. The journey through the portal, the work that is to be done by the network of light, the specific challenges you will face, and the divine tools you will be given to overcome them. That is a story for another time. What comes next will be even greater. The path has been illuminated. The first step is yours to take. Go in peace and burn brightly.